How to play guitar, understanding chords. The first thing we need to cover is about what a chord is. A chord is any simultaneous combination of two or more notes that produce a unique tone. The name of a chord is usually taken from the chord's root note. Usually the note that the chord is named after is the lowest pitch in the chord. The other notes that make up the chord also help create the name of the chord by creating a distance in pitch in between the root note and the other notes that are in the chord. For example, the difference between a D and a D augmented chord is that in the D augmented chord the third interval is raised a half step from F sharp to F double sharp. Having the ability to produce a chord is a major benefit with guitar. Wind instruments are only able to produce one note at a time. Having the ability to play guitar while singing is one of the biggest reasons why guitar is used for such a large variety of music genres. Understanding basic chords. When you are first learning how to play guitar, there will be a big challenge in learning how to control your left and right hands separately while attempting to coordinate them together. If you practice chords, you will give yourself an ideal way to master the skills that you need while being able to learn simply, popular songs. There are 5 basic chords that every beginner needs to know. These chords are identified as C, A, G, E, and D. The mastery of these chords will allow you as a guitarist to play thousands of recognizable tunes. They will also allow you to be able to identify the hand positioning you are going to need in the future for further chord construction. When you are practicing chords, you need to first focus your attention on holding all the notes that make up the chord, while at the same time strumming the notes to make sure that they all sound correct and that there is no buzzing or muting happening. When you have the ability to hold the chord well, you need to practice positioning your hands, moving from one chord to another, while working on the rhythms of popular, basic songs. Power chords. If you are an electric guitar playing, or desire to be one in the future, you are going to without a doubt learn how to play power chords. Power chords are chords that are stripped down to the minimum. They consist of only the root note, the fifth, and the octave. These types of chords are very popular in the rock and roll genre. Power chords are usually fretted using the index finger and the ring finger. Sometimes, even the pinky is used. Sensibly, the root note is going to be the lowest note played in the chord. The other 2 notes in the chord are always going to be 2 frets higher on the next 2 strings. An example is that a G power chord is going to start on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, G. It also contains the 5th fret on the 5th string, D, as well as the 5th fret on the 4th strong, G. This same basic pattern will be used to play all power chords that have root notes on the 5th and 6th strings. However, because the frets are closer together the higher you go up the neck, it may be easier to start up on the 7th or 9th frets and begin to work your way lower while trying to get the hang of the whole power chord idea. Pentatonic scales. The best thing that you can do is to practice your major and minor pentatonic scales. Pentatonic scales are what makes up the majority of the lead guitar parts as well as guitar solos in many musical genres. A major pentatonic scale is the root note, the 2nd note in the scale, the 3R, D5, TH and 6th. However, a minor pentatonic scale is made up of the root note, a flat 3R, D, the 4 TH, the 5 TH and a flat 7th. If you were to play a pentatonic minor scale in the key of C, you would play C, E flat, F, G, B flat. How should I practice? You should try practicing with a metronome or a clicker. This will also help you to build the metronome that you have inside of your head and will help you to keep a steady beat. You should learn how to play in common time signatures like 4/4, 12/8, 2/4, 6/8. If you have the ability to change time signatures after a certain number of measures, do that and practice switching in between times. This will give you the ability to practice counting measures, and it will help build your understanding of how time signatures work and how they work together. You should also try to practice without musicians as often as you possibly can. If you have the ability to join into a band or just form a small ensemble with a group of musicians, then do it. If you are around people who have just started learning their instrument, you will feel more comfortable and you all will be able to learn tips and tricks from Yakutha. If you are able to practice with more experienced musicians who want to help you, you will greatly benefit from their knowledge. Another tip is that you should record yourself playing with a rhythm device. There are many free recording applications out there for phones and computers. You can also find a cheap recorder somewhere at an office supplies store or a musical store. You should go and listen back to your recording to evaluate your performance and use that recording to help you see what areas you need to work on and change. This will help you become an overall better musician.